countless people are reporting that the United States of America is under attack. It is under an invasion at our southern border. And these are not wayward observers. These are retired Marines, Green Berets, war correspondents, and experienced investigative journalists. Tonight, a report from one of the Rio Grande crossings. This is serious, very serious. This is the Dr.Jane Ruby Show, and you're about to enter Truth in Medicine. Welcome to the Dr. Jane Ruby Show tonight. Throughout the last year or so, I've kept you apprised of our appalling operation going on at our southern border. I brought you the work of some great colleagues like investigative reporter Michael Yan and Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Pete Chambers and Ann Vandersteel, who's dedicating her life right now to restoring our republic and protecting our borders. Hundreds of thousands have flowed over our border with a phony administration that's actually aiding and abetting what's not only a violation of our immigration laws, but actually it's part of an ongoing operation to dismantle the United States of America from within. And I'm proud to say from on the ground at the U.S.-Mexico border, here tonight with me is Ann Vandersteel to tell us what's going on. Hey, Ann.
Hey, Jane, good to see you. Yeah, we are on the ground here in Brownsville, pretty much at SpaceX territory. We're camping tonight at Rocket Ranch. This ranch is owned by a couple of folks here that are really dedicated to everything that SpaceX is doing, which is about 6 miles that way. Right here on the Rio Grande River, across the water, Mexico, a ranch with horses that are running wild and also illegal aliens that like to travel across the river in the middle of the night. So we are now day 3 in Operation Burning Edge. Myself, Michael Yan, running a team of Marines, of ex-Army, Air Force, and others that are out here, including journalists that are tracking with us, coming and going to get the story of what's really happening down here on the border. And Jane, it's a lot more than human smuggling and drug smuggling. There's more to it. It's all about the systemic destruction of America and our systems that we rely upon, like transportation and food.
Oh my God, this is horrific, Ann. That's Mexico behind you. You said you're in front of the Rio Grande River. This is where a lot of the crossings happen. Like if you guys were not there right now, there could be crossings and illegal entry.
Yeah, so predominantly these happen at night. And the reason we decided to do this operation for the month of August, besides the fact it's 110 degrees in the middle of the day, is because there's 2 full moons in August. And during full moons is when you see the majority of the migrants being smuggled across the border. Why? Because it's good visuals. They don't need flashlights, they can see. You'll get more drug smuggling during the darker phase of the moon cycle. So this is one of the reasons that we chose this month, because we get 2 opportunities to really see it. And last night, the moon was full, it was high.
Yeah.
We came across smugglers in Mexico down at SpaceX Beach, where we were originally camping for a couple of days. We stumbled upon some folks at night. It was about 1:30 or so in the morning. And when they saw us coming on the other side of the Rio Grande, about the same distance from where we are here, they immediately started to shift position, and one of their spotters on the U.S. side came up upon us, stopped his truck, got out, pretended to look at his tire, took a good look at us, and then both the U.S. spotter and the Mexicans on the other side with their vehicles took off very quickly. Shortly thereafter, the Customs and Border Patrol came up upon us and shined their lights all over us. Anybody left over on the Mexico side could see us. Now, why aren't they shining lights over there to look and see who's coming across? I don't know, but it's as if they're working together to sort us out. And again, another spotter from the U.S. side came upon us shortly after that. And once he recognized we were there and there was no cargo, for him, he turned around and took off. When we left, we were followed, we were intimidated, and one of the cars—
By who, Ann? Are you saying our own Border Patrol is harassing Americans?
I'm not saying Border Patrol. I'm saying, the one gentleman we saw get out of his truck was Hispanic, so we assume he's Mexican. He's on the U.S. side, followed us back to our campground and was parked outside our campground. And all night long, we had 2 gentlemen, one Matt Werner, who was with TrakkaSystems, one of the corporate sponsors that's helping us with all of the logistics from optical and, surveillance equipment here. he and his brother Michael were both Marines. They were up all night armed and patrolling this entire campground because we could hear whistling where they were communicating from the U.S. side to the Mexico side, and other things that aren't natural to to the nature surrounding. So they're aware we're here. We know they know, and we know that they know that we know that all that. So this is it's a hot situation. In fact, Michael Jan last night at one point said everybody to come back. He only took people with true military experience with him back out because it's that right now.
Wow, it's that dangerous. And you have some journalist colleagues there that if you want to bring them over, let's talk. Let's see who's here. Introduce your guests.
But Antonio Guerrero from Real America's Voice, he is an expert on all things border and all things cartel. In fact, listening to him talk about the different visual cues that you need to be alert in order to determine whether or not this is an active area for human trafficking. Antonio, Dr. Jane Ruby.
Antonio, welcome to the Dr. Jane Ruby Show. Thanks for jumping on with Ann.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for doing your, so much to help at least try to protect our borders on some level with your eyes and your ears. I think, doesn't Michael Jan refer to you? You have a social media account that people can follow?
Yes, ma'am. Guero for Texas.
Okay, beautiful. On Twitter, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you so much. Ann's been describing the general situation. I want people to be more and more aware of this. We're under attack right now. Tell us what you've seen and where this is going to end.
Well, this is nothing less than weaponized migration. This has a takeover written all over it. They are literally building cities of these individuals and if that doesn't scream takeover, I don't know what does. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
To be honest with you, they are importing individuals from these third world countries because their spirits have already been broken. They don't know nothing about freedom. They don't understand the Constitution. They don't know about our Bill of Rights down here. So they will succumb to whatever the government is willing to give them. They're broke. Their spirit's already broken. It's gone. So when they reach this point over here, they will do whatever the government is going to tell them to do or dangle over their head for that immigration status down here. Something that we got to look at right now is that in places like Los Angeles, California, they are already allowing non-citizens to act as peace officers and police officers. And let's just analyze it. It's Governor Newsom's state that is allowing this. In Texas, there is legislation that they are trying to pass to allow non-citizens to act as peace officers as well. Who do you think is going to turn on American citizens by government orders when the time comes to maybe confiscate guns and dangle that immigration status before these people's eyes? And don't be fooled. That is actually in this legislation for Texas to allow these individuals to serve as peace officers and be able to have some kind of leeway towards.
That is horrific. That's frightening. And the American people should be down there in mass helping all of you. I mean, would it be possible to, since we can't stop the influx, to maybe have some effect on these people? You say their spirits are broken. Maybe is there time or some effort, a counter mission to teach them about freedom and what, they're here, reverse condition them?
Well, in Texas, what's happening right now is they built a massive master planned community called, we're calling it Abbot City, but it's called Colony Ridge, and it will be home to over 200,000 illegal migrants that are coming in with this invasion.
Oh my God.
And in the slumlord conditions, which is being developed by Trey Harris, who is one of Governor Abbott's largest donors, we've already found at least $1.5 million he's donated. I'm sure there's more. We just got to dig further. So any of your listeners that are good diggers, help us look for these donations to follow the money. But this will be home to over 200,000 immigrants, illegals, and you should see the public schools they're building in these neighborhoods. They are state-of-the-art, beautiful, beautiful schools, much nicer than what we have in some of our nicest neighborhoods around this country. And for what? These are really indoctrination camps, Jane. It's so that these immigrant children will want to spend their time at these indoctrination camps versus the trailer that they've been allowed to live in on this master plan community where they may not even have air conditioning. So this is really very masterful, evil plan to infiltrate our country and build the army from within. And now, as being reported by Sam Shoemate, who's the DOD whistleblower, I believe you're him, I interviewed him. We're learning that our own military, the Department of Defense, is deploying military 100 miles from the border because now they're declaring this a real problem. Well, why weren't they at the border when the problem first started? Why wasn't our military deployed there? That's the whole purpose. Why bring them, inland into the country? That's, it's like posse comitatus. You might not be able to tell the difference between an immigrant, a legal, and a U.S. citizen. What if you find?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not coming down there to help at the border. I'm sure they're coming down to enforce what the government's trying to do. I mean, we have no government. But Governor Abbott is treasonous. He's committing treason against the country.
No doubt. Governor Abbott and his goons down at the border, because that's what they are. They're being trained and they're being weaponized against journalists that are out here in the front lines trying to show the reality of what's happening. They go as far as threatening us with arrest, with zero jurisdiction over American citizens. They start acting as private security on private property. All of a sudden, they feel they got jurisdiction and they think they can bypass the laws and what's in place to protect us and all of the precautions for us. This is a full-blown invasion. We have footage of these individuals actually pulling the migrants off the banana boats on the river in the middle of the night, and them telling us, don't be recording, don't interview the migrants. What do they have to hide? Why do you guys not want us to interview these individuals? And you know what? I'm sorry, it's also the Border Patrol. We have a lot of these new Border Patrol agents that just don't simply seem to understand the laws. When an individual is under arrest, that individual is under arrest, not me. I still have my freedom of speech. I can still talk, communicate whoever I want. And if they choose to respond to any of my questions, that's on them. They try to shut us down and silence us. And that's not how this should be going. This is a full out invasion and attack on our sovereignty and the sovereignty of this nation, and attack on us as journalists.
This is a great heads up. Yeah, please go ahead, Ann.
Back on our food supply, we spent over an hour on the phone with one of Texas's top veterinarians who was on the Texas Agricultural Commission, and he is warning us about the drug-resistant strains of tuberculosis that are coming in with this migrant flow right now. And as you know, because you're Dr.Jane, that's a zoonotic disease, and it can go from animal to human and human to animal. And so what's happening with these migrant workers, they are not only transmitting it to the cattle here in Texas, but because Governor Abbott is pushing the flow and helping further the invasion to the rest of the country by busing these migrants all over the place, and everybody's getting up in arms and pretending to be so faux outraged about it. These migrants are going to other parts of the country where there's more cattle, and they're infecting the cattle there. We're seeing herds being slaughtered by the tens of thousands right now because they've been infected with tuberculosis. And here in Texas, this is how desperate it is. Two things. One, Texas is in jeopardy of losing their TB-free status because they've already had so many cattle infected. And if they do, that's out of their agricultural revenue per year. It's an $18 billion a year industry that could be cut right out if they lose that status. The other aspect of this is that if as this progresses, you're going to see the Customs and Border Patrol people hopefully get a little bit more up in arms. Why? Because their kids are getting sick in school with these drug-resistant TB strains, and it's becoming more increasingly difficult to treat the families around all this. So, we're in crisis. Prices are going up in October.
Let me ask Antonio, we need an alternate force. We obviously need a replacement for law enforcement that don't take oaths, that are going to be filled with illegals. We need an alternative force that replace the military that's been kicked out, killed from the shots, whatever it is. What do you, when I say what are the next steps, it's great to keep reporting it, and God bless you guys for putting your lives, on hold, in danger, away from your families. What's next though, Antonio, in your opinion?
We need first and foremost, Texas needs to get it together. We need to get rid of Governor Abbott. He needs to be impeached immediately. He's not exercising the Constitution to the fullest extent that he can be. He is not our friend, and the least informed will start clapping at the sight when he says that he's sending migrants to these blue districts. If we look back to 2010 on that census, we know that when the census season comes around, they go knocking on your door, they email you, call you, do everything. They're worse than the car insurance when it comes down to the census. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. When in 2010, for every 980,000 illegal aliens that registered and filled out that census, the Democrats earned a House seat. This is all in
Yes,
numbers.
it's
These
all in
people
the plan.
are here to be a youthful idiot, a warm body to fill these seats. And I'll guess what happens when you add more more bodies to a blue district. You get another blue district. They're
That's
splitting
right.
blue districts in half, and they're just getting more districts.
That's
Good
right.
point. Good point.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you, Antonio. Stay safe down there, and thank you for everything you're doing for our nation.
Appreciate it.
It's outstanding.
All right.
Outstanding reporting. Ann,
absolutely.
you too, Ann. I mean, you're kind of, always in the thick of it, my buddy. And I'll tell you something, I am full disclosure, Ann is now a personal friend, and she is every bit as tough and as positive as you see her on the air. Was there someone else that's near with you there that you wanted to bring on before we?
I wanted to bring Matt Warner with TrakkaSystems. In fact, I'm going to see his brother. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, we know you're on the
Michael.
ground there, so whatever you need to do to get people over. We feel like we're with you on the ground.
This the A team here, because we've got Face and Hannibal and Mr.
Wow.
T. Yeah, we've got them all. We've got them all labeled. Come on in, Michael. I want you to meet Dr. Jane Ruby. Michael is the younger brother of Matt Warner.
Hi, Michael.
And Matt is TrakkaSystems, so you understand this technology. By the way, former Marine, or maybe still a Marine. He and his brother both served as Marines, so thank you so much for your service. Dr. Jane is interested in the
Thank you.
technology that's being developed right now from the support of your company at TrakkaSystems.
Yeah, Michael, tell us about it and tell us what's happening. Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Oh, of course, you're welcome. So what we have is this truck-mounted intercept vehicle. It has a capability to look up to a mile and tell the difference between a man and a woman under no light conditions. And we are able to differentiate those two in all weather and all capabilities.
Wow. This is
Used
amazing.
it last night.
And what are you all, and Ann, you can chime in whatever with Michael, what are you all going to do with this? I mean, I'm always a person of urgency. I want to know what's the next step. You're collecting evidence essentially, so that the American people will say, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, the capabilities of this camera with night vision and thermal imaging allows you to detect, body heat. It allows you to see faces, up to a mile clearly at night, so you can determine, is this a friend or is this a foe? Plus, we can also start to put out what I call be on the lookout or wanted posters, because we know that the government is lying to us when they tell us that only 2,000 known and suspected terrorists have crossed the border. We know they're lying to us about the numbers that are coming in.
Oh,
It's
sure.
been in the millions.
Sure.
Biden took over in the regime.
I wanted to ask Michael. Have you gotten any? Hey, Matt. Thanks for joining the Dr. Jane Ruby Show.
Hi, Dr. Jane. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Thank you for your service and for everything you guys are doing for the country. Michael has just explained, sort of an overview of the technology. Is this to develop, evidence? I mean, this sounds really exciting. I wish you guys were the Border Patrol. We wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, well, we support the Border Patrol. And that's what we're trying to do out here is give them the capabilities to do their jobs easier.
Are they receptive to it?
They are. The guys on the ground like it. They see what we can do and they see what they can do. And we're a force multiplier. So one guy can take the place of 5. And when that happens, it's a lot easier and it's a lot safer. And it's also a lot less expensive. So we're giving them an option to do these things, and they're looking at it pretty seriously.
Wow, that's awesome. That's just great to know that some things like this are being implemented and some things are being done, because we just talked to Antonio about, what it's going to take to slow this down. Obviously, there are political things that need to be done, like removing the governor rather. But there seems to be silence from a lot of the legislature there. But what you guys are doing on the ground is documenting, helping the Border Patrol. It's just amazing. And I don't think a lot of the American people are aware that folks like you are bringing this expertise down there. Is there anything you want the country to know? We have a fairly good reach throughout the United States on this show, and actually in many other countries outside of the United States. In general, is there anything, before I say goodbye to the two of you, that you'd like the American people to know about what's going on down there and what you're doing?
Well, we appreciate you putting us on and giving us some time here to show what we're doing. But we want everyone to go to TrakkaSystems.com to check out what we do. We do a lot of things for law enforcement and for private use, and it's TrakkaSystems.com.
Perfect. Thank you for spelling it, because I was going to ask you to repeat it or spell it. That's great. And can people support your efforts? Can they donate? Can they contact you?
Nope.
Or you're just a company that's doing this. Thank you so much. Okay, good to know. Well, I appreciate you both coming on. This isn't. It's some hopefulness. I think that'll make a difference for people to know that it's not all the devastation that's happening over the border right now. But I agree with Antonio. We are being taken over.
Yes, ma'am. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, guys. You bet. Thank you. I'll if Ann wants to come back, there she is. She knows. Thank you, guys. Good luck to you and stay safe. Ann, that was amazing. Great reporting.
This trip, Operation Burning Edge, would not happen. Michael and I would not be out here without the support of TrakkaSystems. It simply couldn't happen. What they're bringing to the table in terms of surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities for us to gather the information we need in order to correctly assess the situation on the ground. It couldn't be done without their technology. Law enforcement absolutely loves their products, by the way. They're hyper competitive in that marketplace for law enforcement, and he covers the United States, Canada, and I'm sure Mexico is going to start buying now too, just because they're starting to see what we can do out here on the field. But yeah. Jane, if we are crowdsourcing the funding for this trip, Michael and I have front loaded it with our own personal pocketbooks. So anything that people want to support, if you go to givesendgo.com/burning edge, they can donate there. We appreciate any support whatsoever, because we're literally self-funding all of our equipment, our RVs, hotels, food, gas, equipment,
wow.
Everything, ammunition, all the equipment we have, night vision goggles, communications. We bought brand new everything so we could have the best of everything to make sure we can be in the field. Right now we're on Starlink. We're using satellite phone company phones and radios. So this stuff is not inexpensive. And if it were not for TrakkaSystems, we wouldn't be able to bring most of the thermal imaging that we're getting right now, which at night, that's where the activity is going on. So you need night vision cameras to be able to capture.
And is Operation Burning Edge, is it a time-limited mission, or is it going to continue as long as this problem is alive? I know you're down there for a month, as well as Michael and Michael Jan and everybody else.
Yeah, so we're running this operation for the month of August. We're running from Texas to California. And then, of course, because that problem is not going to be solved in 1 month, we didn't take a month to get here, we'll continue to run Operation Burning Edge capacities in perpetuity until we get some sort of a handle with the border problem. And if we listen to Tom Homan and President Trump or get elected, I know Tom plans on rounding them all up and sending them back and getting
God.
to that. Praise God. This operation is critical, because as we start to identify and track these individuals coming in with the images that we're getting, that'll help in the roundup process now, won't it? So this is a real operation. Journalists, we have generals, we have a lot of forward active and veteran operators that are joining us. It's a no joke operation, and Michael Jan is one hell of a commander.
Oh, I know, he's amazing, and everybody should follow him on Twitter for great updates, as well as Ann Vandersteel. Ann, I just wanted to get back really quick before we say goodbye to you to the political issues. We talked about, Governor Abbott is treasonous. The way to get him impeached is for the legislature to act. So what is going on there? I don't hear a lot about the Texas legislature. They're not going to be able to sit there and not do anything like the do-nothings in D.C.
But that's just it. They're doing nothing. That's the problem. It's go along to get along. And frankly, the Republic of Texas is actually alive and well. Lieutenant Colonel Pete Chambers is at a meeting with the Republic of Texas this week. Otherwise, he would be here right now. He was with us earlier when we first kicked the operation off.
Okay.
And he'll be back and rejoining us. It's going to be a we the people thing, Dr. Jane, and I am aligning myself with some real patriots under the umbrella of TacticalCivics.com, using the Constitution to stand up citizen grand juries and make sure we have fully capable militias, just as our Second Amendment demands by the Constitution and protects by the Constitution. And when these jokes don't do their job, we can now bring the evidence to a grand jury, indict, and if the sheriff won't make the arrest, we'll use the militia to do it. And they're perfectly within their constitutional jurisdiction to do so. That's how our government is run, and we need to step up to the plate and start to govern ourselves accordingly. TacticalCivics.com. Check it out.
I love it. I love the multi-angled approach to it. And thank you so much. I want you to come back at, you guys, I want you to come back at least every week, if not a couple
Great.
times, if something else comes up. If you're available, I know you're trying to get the word out. Let's keep it going. And we'll cover this with you from our end for the rest of the month, if that works on your end.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Jane.
And maybe we'll get a look at your super buddies, Michael and Doc Pete. So we always love them.
They're out on an admin day right now. We're sorting out communication stuff right now. But thank you.
Right. Thank you, Chief. Love you, Ann. Stay safe out there. Thanks for everything. Take care. Well, that's it for this edition of the Dr. Jane Ruby Show. This was really a special report coming to you live. Taping from live at the U.S.-Mexico border. Thanks for joining me tonight. Don't forget to support my work through Give Send Go, the legal defense fund Give Send Go, in this vexatious lawsuit by Robert Malone. That's givesendgo.com/protect Dr. Jane. And follow me on Twitter and Telegram for late breaking news in medicine and politics, and whatever has to do with our beautiful country. Have a great night, everybody. I've been promoting the Triad Air purification products for over 18 months now. First, because they're incredibly effective at cleaning and maintaining the air in your home. But after hearing from thousands of people in my social media that they've experienced relief from the symptoms they previously suffered around people who took the jabs, I had to get the word out. This electrostatic filtration process cleans every area of your home using a pulse negative ionization that actually electrically charges the air molecules, maintaining a cleaner, fresher breathing space. The big home unit protects up to 3,000 square feet, and the individual products keep your car, hotel room, or your personal space protected. Go to airwaterhealing.com today, and if you use the promo code RUBY, you'll not only get 10% off and free shipping, but right now you will get the other 3 products for free. Don't miss this great offer. Go to airwaterhealing.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know we're having the biggest clearance sale ever. Get our 6-piece towel sets for only $29.88 with your promo code. My towel sets are made with proprietary technology and include 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our 6-piece towel sets. Originally $99.98, then on sale for $49.98. Now we're closing them out for only $29.88 while supplies last. Once they're gone, so please order now.
So we're back here down at the U.S.-Mexico border with Ann Vandersteel, and she's here with Ann. Please introduce Matt.
Partner with TrakkaSystems. This is a gentleman whose company is sponsoring, from a corporate perspective, Operation Burning Edge. Again, providing all the optical visual assets that we need for surveillance that only can happen with their technology, because night surveillance isn't going to work on a cell phone or even some of the more sophisticated cameras that we. So we appreciate.
Awesome. Now, the reason I wanted to just do a quick taping of this, I want a lot of American people don't understand Elon Musk's operation SpaceX. Tell us what it is. It's sort of behind you. So fill us in really quick. We'll do a quick 5-10 minute. We'll do an after talk on this one. Go ahead.
Okay, so SpaceX is a NASA subcontractor, essentially. They're a competitor to NASA in essence. They're putting up Starlink satellites. They've also got the largest spaceship now known on Earth called Starship. And their launch pad is about 4 miles that way, where we were camping for a couple of days. And what's very interesting, because it's right on the beach in Brownsville, Texas. And I mean, it's right on the beach. And you can drive cars past it. You can walk past it. And it's about 150 yards from the street to get onto the launch pad. It's really just right there. But Matt and I were walking yesterday, and I walked up to one of the security guards, and it says, check in here if you want to go into their property. So I went to check in. Matt, take it away. How did he address us? What did he do? Like,
Yeah, were you able to get in?
I'm no bodily communications expert, but I have seen military individuals quite a bit in my time. And the way he presented himself was very militaristic. Very, as far as security goes, it reminded me a little bit of the security that we saw overseas. So he came out with a mask on, very polite, very courteous, but very stern. The mannerisms that he was using in order to visually show, because not everybody speaks English.
Oops.
Making manner remarcation and don't go here, and that's very militaristic. And
I see. So was there like was it a tourist like site, or were you able to get in, or did he block? I mean, what
No.
Okay.
So essentially, there's a lot of bloggers that are really into SpaceX. The campgrounds we're staying at right now, these guys own it. They're real space junkies. They've dedicated everything in here to
Okay.
basically. They love Elon Musk, and that's cool. They've got a beautiful facility. There's Mexico behind us. We're camping here tonight again, before we push on further west on the border. But I got to tell you, while it's incredibly picturesque, I have a sense of creepiness about the whole thing, because Jane, if illegal aliens are coming across the Rio Grande River onto the beach at SpaceX and are cruising through SpaceX property, and Customs and Border Protection can't stop them, and nobody at SpaceX is stopping them from going through there, I question what's really happening on this property. And why would they stop people that, reside here in America? Why would they stop us?
Right.
So it's of concern. I'm not suggesting it's nefarious. I'm just saying it's a concerning question to at least consider. Why would they allow illegals to cross and not let us come in and ask some questions? And instead we get treated as if we are contraband and we have to get off the property.
Is there any sign of that this is a sort of joint situation between SpaceX and the government or the military? Any signs of that around it that you can share, that you've observed?
I don't think I'm that, because I'm no expert on that. But if it was my gut, I would say there's a connection.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk has got the largest military contract. I think it's in excess of $850 billion he has for what he's launching Starlink. So he's the largest military subcontractor. He builds an electric car. I question the fact that Tesla cars, at least one a day, are catching fire. So I'm hearing in the news, you had a whole barge off the coast of the Netherlands meltdown. I don't know what electric vehicles were on it, but there was about 300 electric cars. I don't know if they were Tesla or Chinese or whatever. But why aren't there recalls around these Teslas when they're burning down? I had a house in the neighborhood where I live catch fire in the garage. It was a Tesla. So, you have a tripwire in your car go out, or some fuse box, and Ford makes a recall, or Chevy, but
Right.
Teslas, so this is
Right.
it's concerning.
And he shoots his rockets off from this launching pad, like he just goes up and down and
yeah.
Wow. Very rich
Right
and
there.
lots of time,
Yeah.
right? Okay, guys.
Technology.
Yeah. Technology in the right hands or the wrong hands? We don't know. We'll see, right? Anything else you guys want to share about this location? I mean, I don't see any alligators coming up. I'm worried. I'm looking behind you guys.
What are you doing tonight, Matt?
Tarantulas? I don't know. Matt, tarantulas. I mean, what do you got out there?
So far, it's beautiful. We can see the Mexico side, which was some interesting stuff happened at about 4:35 a.m. last night. But we're very close. That's for sure. It is very pretty.
Okay, well,
Now,
when
we
we
had
yeah.
interesting noises, and Nat and his brother Michael were armed and on patrol for the majority of the evening. They didn't stop. So while some of us got to get a few hours sleep, these guys were up making sure we were safe. But they're Marines, so that's what you expect. They're never off duty.
Yeah, well, you must feel really safe with them.
Oh, 100%. I have zero cares. Zero cares. Let's roll.
I'm
These
so
guys are
glad.
great.
I'm so glad you're surrounded by all these, these Marine he-men. It's really a good feeling.
Real men. It's like, for once, I'm not in an airport full of soy boys. It's like, finally, I know what it's like to be around real men. It's like, oh, normalcy. Holy cow.
I am definitely putting this in the after talk segment of my show, which is where everybody gets unplugged, kind of relax a little bit. We talk about some interesting things. So thanks for explaining Starlink. Yeah, I mean, is it time for a cocktail yet? I don't know.
It's time for a cocktail, but honestly, if it wasn't for Starlink and Elon's technology, this broadcast wouldn't happen because I'm looking at the truck right there with their Starlink communications on it. We'd have zero cell phone, zero internet, zero nothing out here.
You got to give him credit for that. Thanks, Elon.
Systems a big shout out because they're providing the comms out here for us, in addition to the optics that we have. It's just incredible, and they're donating their employees' time to be down here and cover all the expenses for them to be here. It's a big sacrifice and a big support.
Yeah, and just want to reiterate, speaking of that, Operation Burning Edge, which is this project that you're all down there, the overarching, you have GiveSend. Can you give us the GiveSendGo.com if people want to support what you're doing? Because like you said, you've all put your own money in. You, Michael, Jan, everybody's put their own money in for everything, food, lodging, and to capture this evidence. So go ahead,
Sure.
GiveSendGo.
GiveSendGo.com/burning edge. So just go to GiveSendGo.com/burning edge. Anything, $5, $10, whatever you can afford, it all adds up and it helps us pay the credit cards as they roll in, and they're rolling in.
And this could end up really funneling to the evidence that we need to stop this thing and to bring these lawless, oathless leaders like Abbott, who's a traitor to the United States people.
And Mayorkas, remember Abbott's on the World Economic Forum's website, and Mayorkas does not have an oath of office, according to 5 U.S.C. 3332 on file.
This is a big issue, the oath of office, the absence and lack of oath of office, and the ability, allowing people to assume positions of authority in our country now without the oath, which is to get them out of that. So we've got to stop that as well. But I know you're working on it, Ann, as the constitutionalist. Yeah, you're doing great work. Thank you, guys. Thanks again, Matt, for everything you're doing down there, and thanks for doing this little extra taping for After Talk. You guys are great.
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Dr. Jane.
You bet. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
Wow.